So Jan, we had you doing pretty good, and then you did a little trip, and that trip turned into a big physical trip. So tell me a little bit what happened, and we'll go a little bit further as
Okay.
you explain what happened.
Had driven with my daughter for my great grandson's shower to Ohio, and we were staying in a home. I was on the second floor. 3 o'clock in the morning, I got up to go to the bathroom. And what I remember, there were no lights, it was pitch black. What I remember is taking a step, and there was nothing there. So I fell down the stairs. They think 6 to 8 steps. Thank you, Lord, that I didn't fall the entire staircase. I had enough. I didn't hit my head. Apparently, I was able to call for help. And the bottom line is, my family will tell me. Apparently, I was screaming in pain and apologizing for it. Every time I screamed, I said, "I'm sorry." But the EMT were called. 911. They called hospital. I was in the. I fractured my left hip, so I have a hip replacement, a titanium hip. I fractured one of the vertebrae in my back. Was it T3?
L3,
L3.
and then you compressed a
And
couple
I
others.
compressed a couple of others. So I was in the hospital. The interesting thing for me is I have zero memory of it. Zero. My daughter was with me all the time. She will tell me, "Mom, don't you remember you got made friends with the nurse?" No, I remembered nothing. I then went into rehab there in Ohio. And finally we could come home. Oh, and I had the catheter. I couldn't eat. I had no appetite, and that lasted for a couple of months. Um, Rehab in Ohio, then rehab in where I live in Rock Hill, and then Dr. Amy took over, and what he has done and added has certainly, because I was a mess. That was a brain, an emotional trauma, as well as a physical trauma.
Yeah.
And what he works on and what he does has brought me through it.
Yeah, so even though you didn't hit your head, you had a concussion. I could diagnose that just by
Exactly.
checking your balance and the other. So you don't have to hit your head to have a concussion. So you had a concussion, you had some major surgeries. How many days were you in the hospital?
5.
5 days in the hospital, and then rehab there
Yep.
for quite some
For
time.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. And then so it took us a while to get back here and
then
over to see
rehab
me.
here for what was it, 2 weeks before
Yeah.
I got home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was quite. Don't do that when you're 81.
No. So the good part is we used the laser to take some of the inflammation out, put you back together, and we're healing up that scar really well, right?
That huge, because it is a big incision, and with the laser and vitamin E oil, it looks. I mean, I know I'll know that that's where it was, but it looks nothing like what it did before. So that is a visual. Some of the stuff that goes on inside, you can't see.
Right.
That I can see. And yeah, the discomfort from my lower back and the hip area, so much better.
Good.
Just
So
much better.
you're doing good. You're standing up straight. So you're doing
Walking.
awesome.
Walking.
So
Yeah.
walking, doing all the things that you were
Yeah.
doing prior to it. So
Yeah.
that's wonderful news.
Yeah.
So thank you for sharing that with us. We
Oh.
appreciate it.
Thank you.